Okay, we're recording. All right, we're live in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Triangle Splash podcast. 三角綺夢
Yo, Yumo.
Angus,
Hey.
Brian, Turbo. So we got some fun topics for this week. So we're going to be talking about defensive players for NBA Fantasy, shining stars of the week, and which players seem to be shooting bricks. So let's start off with the defensive player for NBA Fantasy. This is not necessarily the defensive player of the year, but we're talking about, steals, blocks, defensive or offensive rebounds. Who do you think is your defensive player of the year for NBA Fantasy?
Yeah.
咁我可以先啦，呢個 topic 係我諗嘅。咁呢個 player 咧，咁首先咧，佢喺 Yahoo 已經俾95% 嘅人 roster 晒㗎啦，所以唯一一樣你哋可以攞到佢咧就係 through a trade 啦。咁咧呢個 player 就係2014啦 ，first round pick，25th overall 嘅。咁佢今年係26歲，佢係個 originate from Switzerland 嘅。咁咧唔知大家估唔估到係邊個啦？咁佢係 from the Atlanta Hawks, Clint Capella.
He's from Switzerland?
Yeah, he's from Switzerland.佢係born in Switzerland. Yeah.
Damn, son.
咁我覺得defensive player of the year for NBA Fantasy 最緊要一樣嘢就係佢可以令到成個 team improve 咯。咁我哋見到今年Atlanta Hawks 係有好大嘅進步咯。咁佢而家 so far 佢係 first in the Southeast Division 啦。我覺得有咗佢之後，佢哋成個 team overall team defense 好好多咯。咁呢啲不在話下之餘，佢係今年係 second in rebounds 啦，fourth in second in rebounds， fourth in blocks in NBA Fantasy。So also 佢 contribute 咗0.8個 steals per game as well。So 我覺得佢係一個好 strong candidate for NBA Fantasy 嘅 defensive player of the year。
Good choice. Good choice.
I agree. He didn't play in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then everyone was worried that he wouldn't be able to slide in next to John Collins.
Yeah.
But it looks like he didn't just slide in. He bumped John Collins a bit too. Not bad.
佢都攞咗好多佢啲 stats 啊，but 但始終我覺得夠 stats 俾佢兩個人分咯，我覺得。
Yeah, the thing is,基本上咧, if you watch the games, John Collins is pretty much playing like a wing three. He's just staying out and then he's just guarding bigger guards, wingmen, and he's actually taking a lot away from my boy John. But Capella has been solid pretty much throughout the past 3-4 seasons, so he's definitely up there, good pick. But 呢個係我都覺得係個 fantasy 嘅，其實我都冇真正睇佢打太多。I don't know how good he is.
即係其實我覺得而家好多個 traditional 嘅 or modern NBA 係 move to away from 呢啲 big men 啦，可以 protect the rim 嘅，即係我諗 people playing small ball， 即係嗰啲 Draymond Green 打 center。但係我覺得如果你成個 team 冇一個，即係成個 team 個 defense 唔係好嘅話，有一個咁嘅人喺 middle protect the rim 係好重要咯。所以我覺得今年 Atlanta Hawks 嘅 improvement 就係在於有一個咁嘅 rim protector 去做呢件事。
That's a good start. What about you, Angus?
All right. For sure, I need to pick someone that I already have rostered. I fully believe in. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, Andre Drummond.
Oh, yeah.
So, right now, just some more. I'll focus some more on his defensive stats. Right now, he's averaging 15.1 rebounds. That's 4.4 offensive, 10.7 defensive rebounds. Rebounding monster. He's averaging 1.4 blocks, but more impressively, 1.6 steals. So pretty maybe he doesn't come off as a strong rim protector. Usually when people think rim protector, they may think Rudy Gobert, but they're actually playing good, solid team defense, like Cleveland as a team as a whole. So, 即係唔係好似打 defense 嗰個 team 咯，即係好似 Washington Wizards, Brooklyn Nets. Their type of defense is different. We'll just say it's different. But Cleveland Cavaliers, everyone always thinks that they're like a lottery team, but they're really trying this year. And even though they just acquired Jarrett Allen, he's still averaging around 30 minutes a game. So he's still getting the minutes to make like an impact on the defensive end. And really important thing for him, especially with a lot of bigs, is he doesn't have that many mismatches. So something that, let's say, Chris Boucher runs into a lot is that he can't handle like those really big bigs, the traditional bigs like Joel Embiid, maybe Vucevic. Whereas Andre Drummond holds his ground. He may not be like the bulkiest, but he can guard the big men pretty well.
我覺得呢個 point 你 bring up 得好好，即係我覺得就算 Drummond 可以 guard 到嗰啲 big bigs 之外咧，我覺得佢就算 switch to guards 嘅話，佢都唔會話好差咯。So I think that's a really good point that you're making there.
And then the crazy thing about Drummond is he doesn't just contribute in like blocks. He has steals and blocks. He was one of the players that I was considering to give him the DOY, the Defensive Player of the Year so far. But then我諗其實 steal 同 block 呢個 combination 係好難好 rare 㗎都。He has both, and he's pretty much, I think, just looking at the stats here, yeah, he should be top 10 in both categories. Yeah.
What about you, Turbo? 你個 DPOY for NBA Fantasy 係邊個？
我就係以為個個都會講嗰個人，所以我都冇講嗰個人。我諗大家都知道講。
我都係好似你哋講，所以我唔講啦。
係，咁我都唔講啦。咁得我諗觀眾大家都知道我哋講緊邊個㗎啦。咁不過我咧就想講一啲特別少少嘅。我想講一啲咧係呢個人咧佢係 I think Defensive Player of the Year Defensive Player of the Year for Fantasy 其實係 not just on stat wise on the defense. I think he needs to actually contribute to in different categories too. So I picked this guy. He is a late round guy. So far he's been averaging. He's been. I think it's a career year. It's not very impressive in terms of numbers, but it's still worth the mention. 佢而家基本上佢個 steals 同埋 block 咧嘅 total 咧都係 top 13嘅。咁 he plays in he's a wingman. He can shoot threes, he can rebound, he can score. So he's pretty all around. He'll give you a little bit of everything, but not very consistent. 不過今年我成日留意啲 block 嗰陣時咧 because I'm looking for blocks. He's always coming. I'm like, well, this guy, is he again? So without further ado, I want to introduce everybody. PJ Washington.
Oh wow.
PJ Washington.
Oh, PJ Washington.
So
the Charlotte Hornets.
Washington so far 佢有21個 steal 啦，同埋28個 block 嘅。咁其實average 其實唔係好 impressive. There's only 1.2, 1.5 per steal and per block. However, 如果你真係睇 up and down 咧，其實冇一個係好似佢咁 even。其實佢冇 Andre Drummond 咁勁啦。咁 Andre Drummond is like the first. Like, did you draft him in the 3rd round or 4th round?
He was a 4th round draft for me.
It was a 4th round draft. That's a steal too, Drummond.
Yeah, that's a really good spot for him.
Yeah, but then a lot of people don't realize how much of a defensive impact in terms of fantasy value-wise PJ Washington has. 都係頭先嗰句啦, like for you to find like a steal and a block together, a player that has both and who can contribute like all around, I think he is great value for your defensive specialists.
He's super underrated, I think.
Oh, very underrated. And then 佢同 LaMelo Ball 嘅 connection 都係好癲㗎啦。呢邊 like 好似 Lob City 咁樣咯。
Yeah. 我覺得好嘅 Turbo 講啲大家可能觀眾未必成日會聽到嘅名啦，即係同埋都唔會成日睇嘅 team 啦 ，Charlotte 而家多咗啦，因為有 LaMelo Ball，但係我覺得 PJ Washington 亦都係一個大家唔係成日講，但係佢係一個好有 underrated 嘅 value per player fantasy as well.
Yeah.
Yup.
Nice. It's good to hear some underrated dark horse picks as well. So if you guys have a pick for Defensive Player of the Year, let us know in the comments section down below.
Yeah, if you think we're whack, tell us.
Also let us down in the comments below.
You whack. No, I'm just kidding. Tell us all about it.